NFL Week 8 is finito. It's finished. That means it's time to look ahead. And that means it's time to rank every team in the NFL entering week number 9. What's going on, BLV? It's Mitch here with my NFL Week 9 power rankings, ranking every team in the NFL from the worst to the best. All my personal opinion. So let me know your opinion in the comments section below. Where was I right? Where was I wrong? How would you rank your favorite team entering week 9? It's becoming a lot more clear, especially after the trade deadline, which teams are good, which teams stink, and which teams are still in the race for the playoffs. So that being said, let's kick it off at number 32 with still the Carolina Panthers. Now, they made it tough on me because the Carolina Panthers, they won a game. Congratulations, Panthers fans, and congratulations to the Carolina Panthers. Great work. I still can't rank you any higher than last. I'm sorry. I know you beat the Texans, and the Texans have been relatively high on my power rankings, but it's still a young Texans team with a young quarterback and a young head coach, and they were due for one of those losses, as well as the Panthers coming off of their bye week in a must-win scenario. They don't even have their own draft pick, but I will say this about the Carolina Panthers. The new offensive coordinator, the coordinator change, the influence of more motion and, let's just say, more college concepts for Bryce Young, if that continues to increase Bryce Young's level of play, now we're talking about a team that can move up my power rankings. So congratulations to the Panthers. They won a damn football game. They're still at number 32. At number 31, and close, I'm talking real close, to number 32, the Chicago Bears. The Bears were an embarrassment on Sunday Night Football. That game should have never been on Sunday Night Football, but the fact that you were getting 9.5 points versus Brandon Staley and were never at any point competitive, and now you go out and you trade for Montez Sweat, what does that say about your franchise? Sure, does he help the team? I guess, yeah. But man, what does that say about your franchise? Quarterback position in shambles. No future quarterback to speak of. Head coach is a goon. Defense stinks. Offense stinks. Team stinks. I think the Bears and the Panthers play at some point this year, so we'll see who really is better. But the Bears look really bad. At number 30, the Arizona Cardinals. They traded Josh Dobbs. I am kind of middling here on my Cardinals ranking because with the new rookie in, I feel like they're worse than they would be with Josh Dobbs. But I do feel like Kyler Murray is going to come in at some point this year and upgrade this unit. So I'm kind of trying to middle on that fact. I also believe the Cardinals have just been more competitive than these other teams more regularly. They competed with the Ravens last week. Like, they didn't allow anything easy to the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson after they absolutely lambasted the Detroit Lions the week before. So I got to give the Cardinals defense some credit and the Cardinals offense some credit and the Cardinals coaching staff some credit. They just keep competing week after week no matter who's in their lineup or who's at quarterback. It really doesn't matter. So Clayton Tune, Kyler Murray, Kurt Warner, Matt Leinart, it doesn't matter to me. That being said, they also played pretty well against the Seahawks. So they show up, and that's what I can expect, even though they don't have talent. At number 29, the Green Bay Packers. This team stinks. They were never in the game versus the Kirk Cousins-led Minnesota Vikings. And they still couldn't find a way to come back when Kirk Cousins got injured. This team blows. Matt LaFleur, your offense isn't working, pal. I don't know what to tell you, but you got to figure it out. You got to change some things. You got to get a hint more creative in the passing game. It's too predictable. Every defense knows what's coming. The run game, not working. The O-line, not at the same level. Defense, still not competing at the level expected. Rasul Douglas, gone. See you later. This team is downright bad. The Packers, a lot of people thought they would enter week 8 and upset the Vikings at home. Nope. Nope. At number 28, the New York G-Men. The Giants played one of the nastiest, ugliest looking games of football you will ever watch in your life versus the New York Jets, to the point where they didn't even have a passing yard. That's all I gotta say. -9 passing yards? How's that even possible? Leonard Williams is also gone, so their defense takes a hit. This team is, wow. At number 27, the Washington Commanders. Can't really figure out where to rank them because it's not like they lost their quarterback, but they did trade 2 of their best defensive players. Chase Young to the Niners, Montez Sweat to the Bears. 2 defensive ends gone. And their defense, especially against the pass, has already been a terrible unit. They can't stop the pass. They're one of the worst units in the NFL against the pass. And now I think that will hurt their run defense as well. So I just expect their defense to be really bad. I expect Jack Del Rio to get fired. I would hope Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, will get fired as well, because I don't know what this man does that's good. What does he do? Eric Bieniemy, call a run play. Mix in a run, buddy. You're getting drunk off the pass. At number 27. At number 26, Las Vegas. What an ugly performance by their offense on Monday Night Football. Jimmy Garoppolo, hit the bench. You stink. You reek. You're absolute garbaggio. Get Aiden O'Connell in there. Josh McDaniels, if you know what's good for you. But I don't even know if O'Connell's going to be able to change the perspective of this fan base on your soul, because it appears that they have lost it with Josh McDaniels. He is done. He is gone. Devontae Adams wants to be gone, but unfortunately can't be. The defense plays hard. Max Crosby plays unreal every game. He's unblockable. But the offense is just terrible. Who would have thought that the Raiders' defense would be the better unit on this team? Somehow they have 3 wins. Somehow they're favored against the Giants. Somehow they might be 500 after this week. Think about that for a second. Think about it. At number 25, the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings stink. Without Kirk Cousins, they've got nothing. Now, I understand Josh Dobbs is back in the fold as a starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, and he's going to help post-Cousins injury. I would assume that he'll help. But where can I rank this team? Because I really thought they were going to make the playoffs with Kirk Cousins. The way he was playing and he was dealing the last couple of weeks, playing the best football of his career by many. And the defense, they play hard. They're schemed up well. Brian Flores doing a fabulous job. They're going to get Justin Jefferson back. I think Josh Dobbs keeps their hopes alive for a wild card spot, but I don't really know. It's really hard to gauge how much of this offense is because of the scheme and the play calling and the offensive line and the receivers, and how much of it is an experienced, accurate, precise quarterback like Kirk Cousins. We'll find out. Josh Dobbs has been fine with the Cardinals. He's going to have to be more than fine, in my opinion, for this team to maintain their standing in the NFC. At number 24, I've got the New England Patriots, another tough team to rank. Didn't actually trade anybody at the trade deadline, but they did lose their best receiver to injury, Kendrick Bourne. This Patriots team has actually dealt with more injuries than many that I can remember in recent history, which I think has been a big impactful thing for this team. The offense looked closer to what it was earlier in the year. Last week, it didn't quite look like the Bills unit that played the Bills at home. I do think that they'll probably have some success back home against Washington. I just talked about how Washington doesn't have any defensive linemen left. The defense for New England let them down against Miami, allowing too many yards to Waddle, too many yards to Hill. Bill Belichick, I don't know what he's doing. I can't really understand if he's trying to rebuild this team, if he's trying to prolong, some sort of mid-level of play for him to get Don Shula's record. I don't know, man. The offense just doesn't have enough talent. The defense, I just feel like, is too injured, or it would be really good. They show flashes of being very good. I don't know, man. As a Pats fan, I'm kind of just like, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. They do play a pretty easy stretch coming up, including a couple teams that have traded some players. So we'll see what happens with New England. I think they're going to end up with 7-ish wins. And that's mostly due to the schedule, not because of anything that they're doing. I just think they're not very good, but they do manage to beat bad teams, which, to be honest, they haven't played many of this year. Other than the Raiders, who they actually lost to, I don't think they've really played a bad team yet. Right? They beat the Jets, they beat the Bills in their own division. Both teams actually look pretty good. The rest of their schedule has been pretty tough. I think every other team is above 500. So, tough break for New England, but that's just what they are. Not a very good team that can occasionally beat a bad team. They might do that this week. At number 23, the Denver Broncos. I actually ranked the Broncos ahead of the Patriots because I think their offense is doing more, which is kind of depressing as a Patriots fan to say that Russell Wilson's offense in 2023 is doing more. But I like what I saw from the running game. Javonte Williams and McLaughlin against the Chiefs. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy make some plays every game. And Russell Wilson occasionally makes a nice throw, an occasional nice run to mix in there. Sean Payton, I think, starting to grasp this team a little bit, and this team's starting to respond, especially defensively, where Vance Joseph has upgraded this unit throughout the year. Justin Simmons has come in clutch for this defense, and it just feels like they're playing much more sound, they're tackling better, and they're flying around a lot more than they were previously. Give credit to Vance Joseph, who everyone was ripping early in the year. He's turned this defense around to a better unit so far. At number 22, the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are interesting because how much better is Will Levis than Ryan Tannehill? Is he even better, or did he just have a fluky game against the Falcons? I don't know. We'll see. They play a really tough Steelers team on the road this week. It's going to be a physical, disgusting, low-scoring game. That's how the Titans like to play. We'll see if they can pull one out. If Will Levis is the real deal, well, at least they have their long-term solution at quarterback, and at least they can start to build around that kid. What I really do like about him for the Titans is he's got a cannon for an arm, he's tough as nails, and his bravado fits the Titans. He fits Mike Vrabel to me. Something about him. There's an edge to Will Levis. There's a toughness, a grit, and I like it. I like how he fits the offense. I like how he fits the team. At number 21, the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a weird team because they seemingly have been scoring a lot of points on a lot of teams, but their defense has been up and down and all around. They can't seem to stay consistent. The corner play is all over the map. The front seven has done a pretty good job overall, but this Colts team is just random. I don't know what Minshew I'm going to get week to week. I don't know what run game I'm going to get week to week. It's just a weird team to figure out, and I think that's an example of a pretty mid team here. You would think overall the way they've played this year, they should beat Carolina, but it is a tricky spot. So Carolina on the road, you got to go there. They've got a new offensive coordinator. There's a lot of weird things that could go on. So I don't know. Colts are just a tough one for me to figure out. At number 20, the Houston Texans, who have moved down the list after their loss to the Carolina Panthers. They just looked young, and they looked like a team that's starting to get figured out a little bit, especially on offense. Feels like teams are getting a better handle for this scheme, for CJ Stroud as a rookie, his strengths, his weaknesses, what he likes to do with the ball, where he likes to go, and how to attack him. So that's what CJ's going to have to do, is counterpunch. He's going to have to find out, okay, what are teams doing to me? How can I figure that out? How can I improve? How can I get better as a young player? But I do think that another tough test is coming up with Todd Bowles' scheme and Todd Bowles' defense. Their defense, the Houston Texans, is all right. It's decent. It's nothing special. They do show up every now and again. But I will say they play hard. I think overall the offense has just let them down a little bit, which honestly isn't all too surprising. You look at this unit, you look at the talent that we thought was there at the beginning of the year. There wasn't a lot by most people's thought. So they've just come back down to earth a little bit. Maybe they were just playing above their heads early in the season. At number 19, the Los Angeles Rams, who I've moved down the list as well. They look like the team that we thought they would be before the year, as well as the Texans did this past week. The Rams, Matthew Stafford now dealing with an injury. Oh, who would have thought that? Not me. Cooper Kupp, Nakua. I like the receiving core. I think the O-line is garbage. Their run game certainly is missing Williams, that's for sure. The defense is just not very good. I mean, you look at the unit, it's just not very talented. As much as Raheem Morris can scheme things up, and as much as they still do have Aaron Donald, the defense just isn't very good. They can't stop the run that well. They can't rush the passer that well. They can't cover especially very well. So the Rams just have a bad defense, a bad O-line, and that results in a pretty below average football team, even with the good players and the good coach they have. At number 18, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs feel like that team that will hang around in a lot of games, but they're just not all that good on offense. Like, the defense is decent. I think Todd Bowles does a good job. I think there's some good pieces to it. I would say it's a borderline top 10 defense here. They're good against the run. Vita Vea didn't play against the Bills. It did show up, but they mostly held their own against the Buffalo Bills. Like, Josh Allen put up yards, but overall, when you look at the scoreboard, like, if Tampa could get a little bit more out of their offense, they'd be in games and beating teams like the Bills. Their offensive line just doesn't get any push in the run game. Baker Mayfield is erratic, and their secondary skill players are very weak, right? It's Godwin, it's Evans, and it's not much else. So the Bucs are in the race for a wild card. I think they'll be fighting for one. I think they are one of those teams that you look at the trade deadline, some teams selling, some teams going for it. They're just sticking in the middle and riding the wave, and that could end up getting them to, an 8 or 9 win record. I wouldn't be shocked, but they just feel like a team that could win or lose to really anybody in this league. At number 17, the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, I don't know, man. I'm speechless when it comes to the Falcons. Like, Desmond Shitter, he's terrible. The O-line is a little bit underwhelming as of late. Bijan Robinson didn't do a ton against the Titans. The Titans wrapped up their run game. Van Jefferson drops like an easy pass at the end of the game. I think they definitely have to start Taylor Heineken moving forward. At least he can throw the ball. I mean, Desmond Ridder, he takes too many sacks. He makes too many mistakes. He fumbles the ball. He's just not good. The defense had maybe their worst game of the year versus Will Levis. Maybe they were shocked by the game plan from Tennessee. Maybe they were just not looking at a Will Levis who can really throw the ball down the field, and they got surprised by that. I don't really know, man. But that's a game you need to win if you want to make the playoffs. Atlanta disappointing in Week 8. We'll see how they do in Week 9. Another favorite against the Vikings. At number 16, the New York Jets. The Jets' defense is awesome. Zach Wilson made some key throws and key runs and key plays late in that game to get them the win, and that's all he needed to do. Breece Hall broke an incredible play for a touchdown. Their formula is pretty simple. Play sound defense, get a couple turnovers, play field position. Zach, you'll make a throw every now and again. You'll run every now and again. Just don't turn it over. He's not turning it over. Breece Hall will break a big touchdown run. Garrett Wilson will make a couple ridiculous catches, and we'll end up in the game, and maybe we'll win it. Even against the best teams in the league, the Jets show up. Give them credit. They're moving up my power rankings with every passing week. At number 15, the New York Jets. Derek Carr showed up this week. He played well against the Colts, made some nice throws down the field. Their receiving core is really good, man. I really like their trio of receivers. They've got a lot of different dangerous players. And Alvin Kamara, the tight ends, Taysom Hill in the red zone, really helping aid the weakness of Derek Carr, which is Derek Carr in the red zone Carr. He can't make a throw. He can't make a decision. Just give the ball to Taysom Hill. all-around great football player is Taysom Hill. The defense didn't play very well and hasn't played very well the last couple of weeks. They need to play better if this team wants to win this division. At number 14, I've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, just a team that finds a way to win week after week. They're pretty terrible, I'm not going to lie, but they win games. So what am I going to say about that? Last week, they weren't really able to do anything, and I feel like overall, they're just a team that tries to hang around until the fourth quarter. And if they're not able to hang into the fourth quarter and the game's not close enough, a one-score game, they're not able to beat you. So teams playing the Steelers, note to self, try to blow this team out before it gets to the fourth quarter. That's my strategy, if you ask me. But strong defense, they're going to get Cam Hayward back. I hope the secondary can get a healthy Minka. But TJ Watt's an animal. He can change any game. George Pickens makes a couple plays every game. They need to give the ball to Jaylen Warren. But at number 14, I got the Steelers. At number 13, the Los Angeles Chargers. It's a pretty sad world when the 13th best team in the NFL is the Los Angeles Chargers. They have, and for my money, the most egotistical, idiotic coach in the NFL. But they have Justin Herbert. So the fact that they have Justin Herbert means that I have to rank them at number 13. We saw that against the Bears. A game that you might think Brandon Staley will blow, even against a bad opponent. Well, you got Justin Herbert, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. That will keep them above average for the rest of the year. At number 12, the Cleveland Browns. Their defense has come back down to earth as of late. They didn't play that well against Seattle, in my opinion. They had moments, but overall, I thought they gave up too many big plays in the run and the pass game. Offensively, I actually thought PJ Walker played decent. Their run game played pretty well. Their screen game was pretty good. And their offense is starting to find a rhythm with PJ at quarterback. Defensively, though, if this team wants to make the playoffs, they've got to play at an elite level, no matter who's at quarterback, because Deshaun Watson also stinks. At number 11, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen was an absolute menace on Thursday Night Football. Phenomenal performance. He is an MVP candidate. He has set a record for a combination of rushing and passing touchdowns through half a season, I believe. I really like what they're doing with Dalton Kincaid. I thought the offensive line played well against Tampa Bay and provided Josh Allen some time. James Cook is a really good running back. They need to feed this man the ball. Diggs is Diggs. Davis will make a couple catches. I like the Shakir kid. Keep throwing him the ball. Defensively, I think they're frauds. I think they're Fugazi, whatever you say it. But I feel like at the end of the day, when you got Josh Allen, you got a chance. So that's why they're number 11. At number 10, before we get to number 10, let's take a sip of the tea. Let me know who your top 10 is. At number 10, the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks with an impressive win at home over the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, it's PJ Walker. Yeah. Well, the San Francisco 49ers didn't beat the Browns, so I'll say that much. But the Seahawks defense continues to impress. I like the way they scheme it up. I like the way they attempt to get pressure with stunts, blitzes, and different looks. I really like their defensive line now with the addition of Leonard Williams. I think they're going to be a force. The secondary is going to continue to grow and I think continue to gain chemistry. Witherspoon's the real deal. And their safety trio is one of the top in the NFL. Jamal Adams came through with a couple key blitzes in the end. The offense, Geno Smith, when he's playing at his peak, this is a tough offense to stop because his accuracy, his ball placement, especially down the field, impossible to stop. The O-line's continuing to improve. Kenneth Walker shot out of a cannon with every run. And Metcalf, keep that head on straight, and this team will be good. At number 9, the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins beat the Patriots. They cover against the Patriots, but I still felt something was missing. The offense was very good. Tyreek Hill played amazing again. Jalen Waddle played well. Tua played mostly well, except for a boneheaded interception. The offensive line is a little bit in shambles, which good defensive lines will give them issues. Could see that being an issue against the Chiefs this week in Germany. Big showdown in Germany to prove that they are a good team by beating a good team. My problem with the Dolphins, they've beaten a team, have they beat a good team yet? Maybe you consider the Chargers a borderline good team. I don't think so. I think they're, just Justin Herbert. But I feel like the Dolphins, they beat the Giants. They beat the Patriots twice. They beat the Panthers. They beat all the worst teams in the league. It's time for them to beat someone good. The defense got a major jolt and boost from Jalen Ramsey. He was really good against New England. He looked himself. I'm excited for that addition along with Javon Holland and Xavier Howard. This could be a really talented and good secondary. Fangio, though, figure out how to stop the run. At number 8, the Jacksonville Jags. I like the addition of Ezra Cleveland at the deadline. I think that improves the offensive line and gives some more time in the middle of the pocket for Trevor Lawrence. They are a creative, fun offense to watch that doesn't put too much pressure on Trevor Lawrence. He makes a couple nice throws down the field every game, but a lot of the work is done by the playmakers in yards after catch, in the screen game as well. Evan Ingram can have a big game. Christian Kirk's capable of having a big game. Calvin Ridley or Travis Etienne. Multiple guys on this offense are capable of having 100-yard games, and that is something you need in this NFL. The defense, I think, is underrated. I like the linebackers. I like the safeties. I think the corners, especially on the perimeter, are really, really solid. Campbell's a beast and capable of shutting down anybody in football. And the front, I think, is solid. I wish they would have added a pass rusher at the deadline, but Josh Allen is having a career year this year. At number 7, the Detroit Lions, an impressive take-care-of-business victory over the Raiders. That's what we expected. We saw what we expected. Run the football. Jahmyr Gibbs, superstar. I told you, give him the football. He's a stud. The wide receiving core got a nice piece in Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think that will add a perimeter downfield threat for them for Jared Goff. You know, St. Brown. The defensive line showed out at home. And I think this home field advantage is a real thing for the rest of the year. Those fans were really loud, and it definitely came into play against Jimmy Garoppolo. At number 6, the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, an impressive victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Pass rush, awesome. Dak Prescott destroyed the Rams. He was spectacular. CeeDee Lamb, even better than spectacular. Amazing. Brandon Cooks getting the football. You know, Tony Pollard, we need more out of the running game, but everything else is great. Secondary's playing well, sticky. The pass rush is great. They're just that team, momentum team. They're a train when they get ahead. They're unstoppable. So at number 6, the Cowboys. At number 5, I've moved the 49ers down to number 5, but I still have them in the top 5 because I still believe in them. I think the addition of Chase Young is a huge addition. A jolt of energy. I think he's going to help their defensive line and therefore their defense. I think Steve Wilkes and Shanahan will figure this thing out. The secondary, the coverage, the scheme, it needs some tweaking. But I think they'll figure it out. There's too much talent on defense for it not to figure it out. The offense is really good. There is a myth right now that Brock Purdy is not good. He is a good player. Is he a great player? Is he elite? No. He's good. He can make the throws. He made some really impressive plays against the Bengals. This offense led the week in yards per play. The Niners are going to move the ball, and they didn't have Trent Williams. They didn't have Deebo Samuel. I still believe in the long run, this team is going to be very good. This is actually the best start for the 49ers, you know, since 2019 under Kyle Shanahan. So 49ers, they'll be there in the end. Just you watch. At number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals have finally moved up to the top 5. This is the team I expected to see. This is the team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. Elite quarterback play, elite intelligence at that position, elite accuracy at that position, the ability to ad-lib. Joe Burrow showed that off against the Niners. Jamar Chase is an alpha dog. The guy is unstoppable. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd involved. I wish they would have added a tight end. The offensive line got the run game going. Under center, play action, run game from the shotgun. The defensive line, Trey Hendrickson is a menace. They played well. They stopped the run. The linebackers, one of the best duos in football. The corner group is stronger than I think it ever has been. No Eli Apples out there anymore. No weak links. At number 4, I have the Bengals. At number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. I understand they lost the Broncos. All right, I don't really care that much. I more so care about the fact that they have not played a good team in a while. So the Chiefs will play a good team At least many people think the Miami Dolphins are a good team. It's the battle of who can beat a good team, the Chiefs or the Dolphins. I would favor the Chiefs in that regard because typically they get up for these games, especially after a loss and a bad performance. Expect the best out of Mahomes and company. But that was a bad look against the Broncos, and their offense is definitely worrisome. At number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. This is the best team in the AFC. They're the most complete. They have a top 3 defense and a top, I would say, 5 or 6 offense. Lamar Jackson is playing arguably like the best quarterback in the NFL and the MVP. Their O-line is really solid. They're able to run the ball and pass protect. The receiving core, anybody can step up. From Nelson Aguilar to Rashad Bateman to the rookie Zay Flowers to Odell Beckham. They all can make plays, and Mark Andrews is the key cog. Defensively, they're really awesome. Nothing to say there. They're one of the best coached defenses in the NFL. And at number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. They showed that again with a comeback win against the Commanders. Even when you don't play well, can you come out with the win? They did that against the Commanders, a team that typically just gives them problems. And that's all I'll really say about the Eagles. I mean, right now, they are that team. They have the best record in the NFL, and they're really rolling. Now they play the toughest stretch of their season. We'll see how good they really are. Expect them to lose a couple games. Just happens, but the Eagles are a Super Bowl threat without a doubt. They have the quarterback, they have the culture, they have the line of scrimmage play to get it done. And A.J. Brown is arguably a top 3 receiver in this league right now. So the Eagles are the real deal. There it is. My power rankings for week 9. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Gronk, spike the like button, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.